Hello and welcome to our episode. Today we'll be looking at writing, the argumentative style of writing, and translation. Let's get started. When it comes to writing, we need to do a number of things. First of all, let's have a look at the rubrics. The rubrics are important because they show you what you'll be assessed on. First of all, you're going to be assessed on your outline, which basically means how you arrange your ideas and put them on paper. You'll be getting some marks on the exposition of ideas and coherence. So, how many ideas do you have? Did you express them in a good way? Are they all coherent and they all connect together? You'll be assessed then on your paragraphing and number of sentences. Look at the question. How many sentences does it ask for? Are you using the right number of words, the correct number of words? Are you using paragraphing, the right form of paragraphing, and so on? You'll be then assessed on your spelling. Overall, how many spelling mistakes do you have? Did you spell the words correctly? And your grammar. Did you use correct grammar, simple, complex forms, any forms you use? And finally, you'll be assessed on your handwriting, spacing, and punctuations. Did you capitalize? Did you use full stops, exclamation marks, and so on? Is your handwriting clear, clean, tidy? This is very important. It shows who you are as a writer. It reflects to the assessor that you're doing a great job and taking care of what you write. So take care of that. Then notice you'll be deducted 20 marks if you change the format, if you write everything as one whole paragraph because you're not following the correct way of writing. You'll get some marks off if you don't write the correct answer. So if they ask you about something and you answer something completely different, you'll get 0 because obviously it's off topic. And 5 marks will be deducted if you add some ideas in your outline and don't use them. So think very carefully about your outline. When it comes to the argumentative essay, basically we're showing 2 points of view regarding one topic. So we have a topic and we're showing 2 points of view. We obviously show our opinion and where we stand towards that point of view. So we have to pick a side and write about it. Usually we add that in our introduction, we show our opinion, and we focus on it in our first paragraph, where we write our claim and our reasons. Let's get started. Writing, obviously, is a process. When it comes to writing, you need to do a number of things. You need to follow the process of writing. You can't just simply start. There are a certain number of steps that you need to follow. So first of all, we start with brainstorming, which basically means gathering your ideas. After you gather all your ideas, we start by drafting your ideas that you brainstormed onto paper. Then you start, right after you wrote them, you revise them, go over them, check them, and then edit any mistakes. And finally, that brings us up to publishing, where your essay is ready to be presented. We're going to look at a question and follow the process step by step to get to some clear, nice writing. Let's get started. We have our question here. What does it say? Write about the following. Fast and careless driving has become a big problem nowadays. In not less than 14 sentences, around 160 words, plan and write an essay discussing the arguments for and against fast and careless driving, which has become a big problem nowadays. So they're saying it's a big problem. Fast and careless driving is a big problem. Show your opinion. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You have to show your opinion. So the first thing we need to do is to brainstorm, to gather our ideas. Think about the topic, fast and careless driving. What can you think about? What do you think? After you think about everything, we're going to take these ideas and organize them in sequence. After we organize them in sequence, we arrange them where? In our outline. So we'll ask ourselves, why do people speed? Why do they want to drive fast? What's the reason? Who drives the car? Are we talking about reckless teenagers, adults, people going to work? Drivers? Ask yourself these questions. Then ask yourself, is setting a harsh punishment a good solution? So do you think that setting a punishment is a good solution or not? What do you think? Organize these. These are all my ideas. Then you're going to ask yourself, am I with or against this idea? what is my claim? Once you decide if you're with or against, you can write your claim. So for example, if I'm talking about myself, I'm with setting harsh punishments for speedy drivers for a number of reasons. This is how we write your claim. I am with, I am against. I'm with setting harsh punishments for speedy drivers for a number of reasons. And we're going to list the reason. So we'll offer the reason and some examples, another reason and examples. And this is how you get your ideas. Write down, think about these reasons, why you're with, why you're against, and write them down. Then think about the rebuttal. The rebuttal is the other opinion, the other side of the argument. What's the counterclaim? When you think about the other argument, you start writing your counterclaim about other people and what they think. Some people are against, so you're with, other people are against. Why are they against? Write their reasons and examples. And then use all of this information to apply to your outline. This is a sample of the outline. Look at it. We start with our introduction, where we add our hook and claim. In body 1, we're going to write our claim and evidence. And in body 2, we're going to write our rebuttal, our counterclaim, and finally our conclusion, where we're going to paraphrase or summarize the information. So let's use the information that we brainstormed together and put into our outline. So we start with our introduction. What's my hook? What did I say? So I said something like, I am with setting harsh punishments for speedy drivers. So this is my claim. This is what I'm going to write in my introduction. And then I'll move on to the body, where we add our claim and our evidence. What was my claim? Again, I just said it. I am with setting harsh punishments for a number of reasons. What are my reasons? Let's think. If you have speedy drivers, it could be dangerous. You could be risking lives. So I'm going to be focusing on setting harsh punishments because it's dangerous and it can risk lives. These are two of my reasons. I'll move on to the counterclaim, which basically the other side of opinion. Remember our comparative and contrastive connectors. What can we say if we're talking about something completely different? We can use on the other hand. Exactly. So because we're talking about the counterclaim, something completely different, we'll say on the other hand and offer the other side. Some people are against setting harsh punishments. Now, why are they against? What do they think? Do they have their reasons? We're going to add our reasons there. And that brings us to the conclusion. The conclusion is we can either paraphrase the introduction, everything we said in the introduction, say it in different words, or we can summarize everything we added in the body 1 and body 2. Remember, it's important that you add your opinion and what you think in the conclusion. You need to restate it again. So now that we've gathered all our ideas, you've seen them on paper, in your outline. What do? The second step is to draft, which basically means use your outline. You have your outline. Use it to arrange your paragraphs. It's already arranged, as you saw. Now we're going to take these ideas and start writing them in our essay. So you'll have something that looks like this. Look at it. You have how many paragraphs? 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. And you can see some of them are bold because we're going to be discussing the next step. Notice, in this essay, there are some mistakes because we're not done. We're not at the publishing stage yet. There are some things we need to consider and look at. We're just drafting. This is a draft of the essay. After we have our draft on paper, we're going to be revising. And when we revise, we use the ARMS technique, which is very simple. Remember, ARMS. We add words. We remove unnecessary words. We move a sentence. Maybe we feel it's not in the right place. We need to move it around. Or we substitute a word or a sentence with another. So we look at what we wrote and we think, do I need to add something extra? Do I need to remove something? Do I need to move something around? Or do I need to substitute something? Let's look at our essay, what we wrote. Now it's time to look at our draft. Look at the first sentence. Many people drive very fast. Some people drive slow. Fast and careless driving has become a big problem nowadays. What do you think about the first sentence? It seems unnecessary. As it's unnecessary, we'll remove it. Let's keep reading. Some people are for banning speed drivers from driving, while some others are against them, and they have their own reasons. Forget about the spelling mistakes. Now we're focusing on the ideas. We're adding words, we're removing words, we're substituting. This is what we want to do. Let's discuss their arguments. What do you notice here? Is my opinion clear in the introduction? What do you think? My point of view or my opinion isn't there, so we'll add it. Add my point of view. So I'll say, let's discuss their arguments. I'll say, in my opinion, speedy drivers should be punished for a number of reasons. So here, my opinion is very clear. Instead of saying, let's discuss their arguments, I'm not looking for the two arguments. I want your opinion. And that's why we added this sentence. In my opinion, speedy drivers should be punished for a number of reasons. Let's move on to the next paragraph. Remember, in this paragraph, we're looking at showing our opinion, the claim, and the reasons. Those who are for banning them from driving state that they cause serious accidents. In addition, they might kill innocent people. What do you think? What should I do about this sentence? Those who are for banning. Remember, I want to show my opinion, my claim. I start with the claim, so I'll change it. I'll change the sentence and I'll use speedy drivers should be punished as they are a cause of many serious accidents. Remember, when we write our first body, we're focusing on the main idea, our claim, what we believe. Just as we added our claim and we said we showed our opinion in the introduction, it's important to stick to that claim and focus on it. This is what we're going to branch from and add in our first body. Our claim, reasons, and evidence. So we added, speedy drivers should be punished as they are a cause of many accidents. In addition, they might kill innocent people, and we continued to read. So here we applied some arms technique. We added words, we removed words, we changed sentences, and as you saw before, there were some spelling mistakes, and now it's time to edit. When we edit, we focus on the mistakes. So we use our cups technique, which basically means we need to notice, are there any sentences or words that we forgot to capitalize? When do we capitalize? We capitalize when we have the name of a person, the name of a country, a place, a title, the beginning of a sentence. So look at these. Then we look at the usage. Are we using nouns where we're supposed to be using them? Are we using the verbs correctly? Look at these things. And that brings us to P, punctuation. Do I have all my full stops in order? Did I end with a full stop? Did I use an exclamation mark, a comma? What did I do? Everything has to be in order. And that's where punctuation comes in. And finally, spelling. If you notice any spelling mistakes, fix them, write the correct word. So let's look at our essay again after we've revised our ideas and start using the cups technique to edit. So here we have our introduction. Remember, we added our hook and our claim. Fast and careless driving has become a big problem nowadays. Let's keep reading. Before we move on, do you notice any spelling mistakes? Look, some people are for banning speed drivers from driving, while some others are against ban them, and they have their own reasons. Let's discuss their arguments. What do you notice here? What do you think? Look at the words in yellow. Some people. Maybe we could edit that. So we have people, the correct spelling mistakes. What about are? Sometimes we see students forgetting that they're not sending messages on WhatsApp or social media. Remember, the are, we usually write are in this way because we want it to be quick and fast, but this is incorrect. Remember to change it to the correct form, which is A-R-E. What about the next word, for? Do we mean for as the number or for someone for banning speed drivers? What do you think? So let's look at them. People needs to be edited. Are needs to be written correctly. For needs to be substituted with the other for. What about speed drivers? What's wrong here? What should we add? Speed is a noun. What should we use? Because we're describing the drivers. We should use an adjective. So we'll go with speedy drivers are against ban. Against ban. Is it correct? Am I using the correct grammar here? or should I say against banning them? What do you think? What do you think? We should add banning, against banning them. They have their own reasons. Now, it's spelled correctly, but do I mean their in this case, or do I mean their belonging to them, or their I'm pointing to them? What do you think? So, I actually mean their. I'm talking about them. And that brings us to the last word, let's. Remember to add the apostrophe. Let us discuss their arguments. So now we're done with editing and we have all our grammar and spelling mistakes and all our punctuations in order. You have your essay in front of you. It's all correct. We have nothing else. We paraphrase. We can move on to the publishing stage. After you've brainstormed, you put your ideas in your outline. You then drafted it. You revised it for ideas and sentences and words, moving things around. We finally came to the editing stage where we checked our punctuation, spelling, and grammar. Now we're ready to publish, which is when you're ready to show your essay and hand it in. Remember, before you do, check that you indented each paragraph. Make sure you have minimum of 4 paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that you indented them. They all start with a capital and full stop, which you should have done in your editing phase. And that sums up the writing process. I hope this made it easy for you. Try to practice. Remember the words cups, arms, brainstorming, all of these. It will really help you, write easily. And the most important part is the outline. If you get it correct, your ideas are all in order and it's a smooth ride. This brings us to the translation section. When it comes to translation, you need to do a number of things. You need to look at the meaning, not word-for-word translation. We want the main idea behind the sentence. We want to avoid word-for-word translation. Translate a whole sentence. It's improper to leave out spaces for words you don't know. If you don't know the word, just try to look at the whole sentence and write a full sentence in Arabic or in English that best suits what you have in front of you. So let's look at an example. Here we have Saud. Saud says, إن القوانين مهمة لحفظ الأمن ونشر العدالة. So, what do I say? إن القوانين. Is there a literal translation for إن القوانين? What would I say? What do you think? I can say قوانين. What do I mean? You already took this. Laws. Okay? مهمة, important. So, when I say لحفظ, what do I mean? Have, save, ensure. I can say a number of words, but it all depends on how the sentence fits together. I can also say الأمن. What do I mean? Security, safety. نشر العدالة. What does عدالة mean? We already took this in your vocabulary lessons. So you can say justice, all of these things. Can we put all of these words in a meaningful sentence? So I can say laws are important to ensure safety and the spread of justice. Can I say that? Oh, you can say any sentence as long as it revolves around the same meaning. Let's look at the next example. We have Jassim. Jassim says, هذا صحيح. جرائم الإنترنت في تزايد مستمر نتيجة كثرة استخدام الإنترنت. What can I say? Focus on the words that you know from your vocabulary lessons. جرائم الإنترنت, you can say internet crimes. في تزايد. تزايد means what? Going up means increase. مستمر, continuous. نتيجة كثرة استخدام الإنترنت, using internet. Try to put all of these words in a sentence and we can come up with that's right. Computer crimes are on the increase because lots of people use the internet. Any sentence is acceptable as long as it revolves around the same meaning. And that brings us to the end of our episode. In this episode, we looked at the process of writing. We looked at different writing techniques and how we can apply them. We looked at how to write our outline, our writing process from brainstorming, editing, revising, publishing, and all of these things. And we looked at techniques to handle translation. I hope this lesson was useful. Thank you for watching.